Guys, I don't know where I found myself. I'm in the jungle, but I think I have communications open. I'm staying down low. I'm staying in the jungle. I'm making sure I'm one with the animals. But I've got some information for you guys. Can I go ahead and is this working? Is this work? Do we have Cubby and Magical? Oh, the animal sounds are so scary. Okay, guys. I just heard you had a game. Now I'm in the wild. Okay, I'm in the wild.
How'd you get there?
I don't know. It just happened. I found this nice cover up though. For some reason, there's a bear in the jungle, and it's so wild that it works. All right. But
I got a squid.
Oh, perfect.
Wait, you probably can't see it. Actually, it's green.
Last game, I was listening in. On my way to the jungle, and I heard there was a shark in the game, and so I got a representation here, and I want to say it was Cowrie. He was scary. And I don't know why there's a shark in the jungle. But I'm gonna try to teach you guys a little bit about Cowrie. While I have you here, okay? And
okay.
You gotta be careful because it's starting to get a little late, and the jungle comes alive at night, all right? The jungle
what
comes
jungle
alive at
has
night.
bears and sharks?
You know what? I don't know where I found.
I think it's fish
Magical.
bones.
It's the Academy Wilds. Anything can happen here. Okay?
Cowrie was playing Jinx. It's got to be fish bones.
But is a shark a fish?
Guys, I have a lesson for you.
Shark
You're
gun.
making me get loud, and the jaguars are coming. Okay, stop. So
there's
Cowrie,
jaguars there too?
We're in a jungle, Magical.
But you have bears and sharks and jaguars. This sounds like some weird Wizard of Oz.
What about raptors?
Magical. The shark has teeth. All right, Cowrie had teeth, and he was biting into his opponents with the shark instincts. And the thing is, there was another shark on the other side. There's another shark here in the jungle too, so I have a representation. But the Stixay on the other side was also a shark, but
that's a baby shark.
But if you look at the two, this one's bigger, right? Right? Like
yeah, I assume okay. So with the fact one's a baby shark.
And I think that's a pretty accurate representation because you see how slick the fins are. You see if I hold up the dorsal fin here, you see it's fast, it's slick, like Cowrie, and it's just all the right representations. He's so fast, and I just think he was a lot better than this little shark that was like tiny little fins. And sometimes they grow up to be a big shark, but this time the big shark was scarier, and I think Cowrie fits that. But guys, it's getting a little bit later, and I think I heard something. So I'm gonna go. Hopefully I'll be back. Hopefully I'll be back. I gotta go.
What jungle is he in that has sharks and bears, jaguars, and baby sharks, and raptors? I think is what was also said.
Not the jungle on Summoner's Rift, that's for sure. I don't know. He's in the bear onesie. I feel like he's trying to steal my brand, but
why isn't there a shark champion?
That's a good question. But what I do know is, Jinx with the fish bones. I feel like that could be the shark, and maybe why Cowrie was a bigger shark.
But is a fish a shark? Have you ever seen the whole thing? There's like an argument. No. There's a whole argument that fish aren't real because there's so many different types of fish. That fish is like not a right term because it just refers to anything that's underwater. But there's so many different species that it's just not right.
Even for you, Matt Magical, this is outlandish.
You've never heard that theory before?
No,
that's not a theory that I have. That's just like an actual scientific theory.
I've heard of a lot of theories. I've never gone down that rabbit hole.
Oh, see, okay, you're not as crazy as I am. I see. It's okay because pigeons aren't real either. But let's bring back Marcel and see how he's doing.
Our host is real.
Yeah, our host is definitely real.
Oh,
but hello,
man, guys.
Welcome back.
The Academy Wilds are kind of crazy. I don't know.
I don't know what was going on there, but
dude,
there's a big shark and a little shark.
You gotta check it out sometime. Maybe
a non-water environment.
I don't know if I want to. A place that has sharks and jaguars and upside down.
But isn't that such a representation of Academy? I mean, I think it was beautiful. I think I think being able to be out there in the visceral wild, be there with the animals. it was an incredible experience. I would do it again. It was absolutely incredible. But only getting to listen in on the comms while I was in the plane to go to the Academy Wilds, it was really interesting to hear how the game went down. I feel like it was really close. It was close.
It was. It was a really close game.
But
that was exciting.
It wasn't.
That was exciting. Well, I mean, that's how all games are. Because there has to be a winner and a loser. So it can't be close forever. Some team eventually has to win. And it was, honestly, I think there were even moments where, depending on how EG positioned and how Golden Guardians were able to position, they could have easily wrestled control back of the game. But Evil Geniuses ended that one effectively. They utilized their side lane push. They played around the side lanes as you had asked them to do, Cubby, because that's how they drafted, and they were able to find success from it.
I really like when we have two different styles clashing in League. I think it's always fun to watch both teams try and execute them. And EG did a better job of executing it. And I think that major ups to Tomio. That was, I think, the best game we've seen Tomio have so far in Academy. I know he's been having a tough split. I think he's tied for 8th in gold diff at 14 and also kills plus assists at the same mark. So we haven't been seeing him have like a bunch of early action. We haven't been seeing him get ahead. That was a game where after that first move was made bot by Golden Guardians, his response top to make sure Surdy was ahead was good. But the bigger part was some of those big Lee Sin flanks and angles that he had. Even the fight that didn't work for EG, it was still a good team fight setup for them. So the fact that they have a good understanding of how to play with the Twist of Fate and how to utilize this comp they had to create the skirmishes in the 5v5s going up against the Wombo combo, I think it was one of the better looks in games that we've seen out of EGA. And they took down Golden Guardians. So keep in mind, they are 7-1 in their last 8 games. So they've been on a tear ever since they dropped out to second in that PGOQ. So really nice play from EGA, and makes me even more excited for game 2 to see if they can push them again.
Yeah, I think being able to see the bounce back from Golden Guardians is where I'm at now, right? Because that was such a closely contested bout, and it's beautiful that it worked out to be, Stixxay versus Cowrie a little bit, and to see Stixxay with a little bit of that confidence we've known him for, especially coming off a 2-0 victory yesterday, and see that a little bit of this game, but it quickly taken down by Cowrie on the other side, and especially seeing kind of if that momentum is going to be there at all for Golden Guardians.
Well, and I also think I like this draft more so than just the Fiora Twist of Fate Lee Sin topside. I actually really like Skytech on Tom Kench because it really does. It's not only that he had a nice game. It really helps Cowrie feel like he can play a lot more far forward. He can play further up. He has that safety net, similar like having a threat, where you always know that you have a line to get you out, except instead of having to click on a lantern, you can just say, Skytech, you eat me when I'm in danger. You're going to be my safety net to grab me at any moment. I could just play like a monkey.
Can we clip that? Can we cap that can I have that as a soundbite?
It was the jungle portion. Do you have the animal in the Academy jungle?
There was a lot of sounds out there, all right? I was scared for my life, Covey. I wasn't thinking about grabbing clips for your stream, all right? Gosh!
How could you not think of this? I can't believe it.
We need a Wukong. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Tony Top, you've got it covered.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see that one, but, maybe we'll get the Jax. Maybe
it's a terrible matchup in the Fiora, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not going to be fun. But in reality, right, I want to see and look at what we're going to be seeing for the draft for game 2, because I'm obviously getting a little tired of seeing the typical ADCs, but they are there for a reason. Do we see any adaptations from Stixxay and from Golden Guardians?
Look, I prefer this matchup over the Corki Victor any day. I will take this. I don't care if it's Jinx Caitlyn every single game. It's far more exciting to watch that than just watch Victor Corki be like, I clear out a wave. I clear out a wave. Oh, man, but I clear out the wave.
I'm sorry, I keep distracting because I got fuzz all over me from that bear costume. Just like everywhere.
I think in terms of Golden Guardians, I'm really curious to see what happens with this Twist of Fate pick. It's the only pick that Sligo's played this week. In the 3 games they've played, it's been all Twist of Fate. And I think that really opens up and enables EG to play the side lanes. Now, the good part for GGA is that if they want to deal with or isolate this pick, they do have 2 ways they can go about it. 1, you can always ban it. But 2, Ryoma is a really good Twist of Fate player as well. So Golden Guardians, it could be a strat where, they say, all right, we want to take the cross maps. We're going to try and use this snowball bot. And we're going to kind of use your own tech against you in EGA. And so I think that's the pick that I'm really looking out for in the draft to see what happens, because even with the nerfs, it's still the same champ, right? Twisted Fate just warps a game.
Yeah.
He's able to hit timers that no one else can hit, and those gold cards are always going to be so valuable.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact when EG drafted. They drafted pretty early in. It's usually there's a second, third pick on blue side, especially since we're looking at the next game, and I believe they're on the same sides. So do you pick that over Jarvan and Thresh and then give one of those over to your competition just to make sure you can deny it? Then we have Sylas as a possibility that can easily be drafted by Sligo pretty early on. Yeah. And I don't think that I see a really good way for Golden Guardians to be able to take away the Twisted Fate unless they ban it.
I mean, I always feel like there are the responses, right? You see the rises coming out, you see the Gallios, but is that going to be something they're willing to pull out, I guess, is the biggest question. And especially because it does warp the playstyle a little bit. You're getting a little bit less of that carry, a little bit more of that stability in the mid lane. But if you're able to answer the fact that TF is running all over your team, like, I feel like that's worth it.
So one change they could make is that they did ban Rise on red side. Golden Guardians did on 3. And they could just trade that out for a Twisted Fate. Yeah, that's an easy one. Or you can leave the Rise up and not take jungle. So you can take bot lane on R1, R2. And then you can respond with a mid if they do early pick the Twisted Fate. So I think Golden Guardians have some options of how they want to respond. I just find it interesting that this is the comp that EG has been running all week. We know that Sligo is a great Twisted Fate player. He didn't lose a single game on Twisted Fate with Dignitas Academy last summer. So I know this champion's seen a lot of changes, but it's still something that Sligo and Ryoma can both play well, and definitely the champ I'm keeping my eye on as we go into this next draft.
Well, we'll see, because that draft is ready, my good friends. So go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your adventures during this downtime for yourself, Marcel. Hopefully you'll find some cool animals to be able to explore and see in that jungle of yours. I don't know what's going on over there. But getting into this draft, we see 2 jungle bans, same way for Evil Geniuses, but the Jinx is actually opted here instead of Gwen being banned away immediately by Golden Guardians.
Okay, so this is another adaptation. Now, Gwen, if Gwen is left up, we oftentimes see Gwen be a B1 pick. One of the reasons that we're now seeing Gwen be first picked is because a lot of teams figured out that if you pair Gwen with an Enchantress mid, she becomes a very powerful jungler. Now, what's curious is that Gwen is also an important pick for Golden Guardians because it's Tony Top's best champion. He is 10-4, and Gwen in 14 plays. It is his most played as well. So EG has a decision to make. Do we take Aphelios, or do we deny the Gwen from Golden Guardians and play it ourselves?
You have to take Gwen. You cannot let Tony Top have that champion. And like you talked about, the flexibility that Gwen has at the moment, the fact you can put it top lane, you can put it into the jungle, it makes it so it's a very valuable pick. But as you also had highlighted, Aphelios is still up, with Caitlyn and Jinx both being banned out by Golden Guardians, gives them that opportunity. They can grab this, they can grab Thresh, they'll have a pretty solid bot lane.
I don't think they have to grab Thresh here if they don't want to. They could take jungle if they want. And why I like Gwen being an opener on B1 is that Gwen, you can tell where Gwen's going to go based on what your top side of the map is. So because they give Aphelios over, you now get to counter the Aphelios with whatever Cowrie wants to play. I think important to note, Cowrie has only played 4 champs this split. It's been Jinx, Aphelios, Jhin, and Ziggs. So I'm curious if we see potentially a Senna or an Ezreal, as those are 2 champs that we haven't seen out of Cowrie that do counter Aphelios. Now, I did tease that you could take jungle if you wanted to as Golden Guardians. Not going to be the case. They're going to take their bot lane. But this does open up EG to just straight up counter the bot lane if they want to right now.
Yeah, and hey, sometimes I have the big brain and called the Thresh. I figured that they would just to make sure they can deny that from Skytech, since he also plays it. Plus, Chime really does like to play that Thresh. Thresh one trick, yada yada, etc., etc. But here on the other side, with Rise being left open, Sligo not going to Twisted Fate. He's grabbing that Rise, not wanting it to get banned in the second part.
So that's curious to me, because that says that Rise, or that tells me that Gwen is likely going to be going up to Surdy in the top side, because you aren't pairing it with an Enchantress mid. And it does give Golden Guardians this core Thresh Jarvan with lethal tempo marksman identity that they did have in the last game, just with a different marksman.
Cubby, I'm calling this now, just so I can seem even smarter if it actually happens. The long shot that is. Watch Rise go top lane, Gwen go mid, and they get an Enchanter mid.
You mean Rise top, Gwen jungle?
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah, but that's too much magic damage if you go with an Enchantress mid. So,
fine, then grab Zed. I don't know.
I mean, we did see Zed out of copy. I'm a big fan of that champ. Hope we see it more. Yuji has an amazing Zed jungle. We do get the treat of saying that. But I want to stick to this draft as that Thresh is locked in. They take away 2 of the counters to Thresh and the Tahm Kench and the Nautilus. We've also been seeing Blitzcrank, specifically out of Diamond and Chime himself. So wondering if SkyTech leans into that tech as well.
Please.
Whereas we see...
I want to cast the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, the Syndra taken away. I would not be surprised if we just see an Orianna again. It's a good matchup into Ryze. Ryoma could also go for the Victor. Victor stays under the turret quite a bit and can't really deal with tank Ryze, but you're still Victor. And as the game goes on, you provide amazing peel for Aphelios. Said it's going to be Orianna. A little bit more prio on that early game and more lane pressure.
Yeah, and going to be a pretty easy lane for Ryoma again, like we saw last time, but it's going to be on how Fleego is able to play towards the team fights, towards the side lanes later on like he did in that first game. Especially if Tomio ends up going for this Elise Sin again, which guarantees it is the Gwen top. So my long shot prediction is completely out the window, but I had to throw that out there just in case, because then I was so smart if it happened.
That Magical, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
I think it's time for Tony Top's Jax. You're playing into Gwen, Lee Sin with Ryze topside.
Yes.
Jax murders Gwen in that matchup. I think we're going to see the Jax for Tony. SkyTech going to stick with his trusty Rakan. A couple champions are removed, but SkyTech, of course, actually hit Grandmaster playing mid on AP Rakan. So this guy's very good at that champion.
Tony Top, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Honestly, okay.
No,
bad. It's fine.
I wanted Jax.
I apologize that I got you so excited for the Jax. I do like Gragas here for a few reasons. One, you can just stack magic resist, and you really can't die to Gwen Ryze when they try and attack you in the side lane. Two, Jhin Ra is rather immobile, and this is another team fight tool that Tony Top can use. More displacement to try and throw the carries of EG off their game, try and set up for Iconic and Ryoma with these other big team fight abilities. And it feels like both teams kind of running a similar strat, just with a little bit different style, different version on it.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see which one's going to be able to get the early lead and which one's not, especially if those summoners hold through for certain.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see Smite Barrier. We'll keep you updated as we dive into the game.
Yeah, we'll wait a sec on that one. I just kind of looked over and got my eyes drawn to that. I'm waiting. I'm continuing to fill the void with noise until I get the lock-in of this. It hasn't been swapped out yet. Oh my, okay, thank God.
We have like a pretty common rule here to not get baited by hovers. But, you know, Mad Magical, when you see
I had to talk about it, and I want the weird stuff. We know this. That's what I'm here for.
I can understand that, as will just be the Gwen. This is a matchup that we very commonly see in LCK at the moment. We have seen it a couple games in Academy. Pretty much Gwen wins in the side. Gragas tries to neutralize the Gwen in team fights, can still get through lane phase okay. So I am curious because this is a little bit more of a tanky front line for Golden Guardians going into this game. Some more displacement opportunities. I like to have some more tools to try and pull off the 5v5 and want to see if they can be proactive and do it.
As am I, especially when we look at last game. Iconic playing Jarvan went for a far tankier build. He got like Warmogs, he had a Thornmail as well. But as we dive into this game, they have the option whether to put Iconic back onto more of a tanky sort of build for Jarvan, or if they want to, which is the more realistic one, get Tony Top to start being that beefy front line.
And I think that one of the big stories about last game is not only were EG dictating the side lanes, but that also kind of helped them dictate the engages they took. It was Tomio starting the fights and not Golden Guardians with this Wombo combo. So maybe with this Gragas, Tony Top can help find angles and help put EG in a difficult position, put them off their game. But as we do dive into this composition, this game too, EG have an opportunity to break the 1-1 curse in a way that I think EG would like to break the 1-1 curse with a 2-0. And
that's also a lot of pressure, Cubby. That's a lot of pressure to say, okay, we have it in our grasp. We can break the curse, but we gotta beat them here.
But doing it against Golden Guardians, keep in mind, this is a team that's second right now in Academy. They had 3 players that were in LCS last split, with Ryoma also playing in the spring. I think Golden Guardians have really started to formulate an identity and play well as one of our stronger Academy teams. Something we expect out of a more experienced roster, but they've still been able to put it together. If EG are able to take this game, I think it'd be a good sign for them moving forward. As I know they've had some struggles with inconsistencies, but having 2 good games to put together a 2-0, I think is a good sign for not only this team in the standings, but more importantly, because it's Academy, this team's starting to develop and just improve as a squad of 5.
Thing is, we still got to get through this game to see whether or not that consistency is going to be there for Evil Geniuses, or if it's going to be more of the tried and true. Golden Guardians, they definitely want to be able to bounce back from that. They are our second place team still. They're slightly above the Blob, while CLG being well above that as well. There's a lot of pressure onto them. Both teams have the pressure, beating the curse of 1-1 for Evil Geniuses, making sure they can keep up with CLG for Golden Guardians. It's right there. A little bit of a trade. Chime taking a lot of damage. SkyTech took a beating too.
Well played by SkyTech Cowrie to make sure they net that level 2 first. You get a nice trade, but it's the same jungle pathing, I should say, for Iconic as last game, as he is making his way towards the bot lane. Meanwhile, Tomio actually working up top. Surdy's making this lane rather volatile by consistently trading. I want to see if we might have the first move from each jungler come out here is, if Iconic wants to show bot, he could get a couple summoner spells out. They're able to execute a clean play on the Cowrie. And Tony Top, he hasn't dropped his trinket yet, so he could be in trouble.
And that he will be. Looks like he's playing forward. He gets the belly flop, but it's on to Surdy. That dash is gone. Go at the flash away. It's a flash burn now in this top side for Tony Top.
I think Tomio is fine just taking that, walking away. As I think he is going to help Surdy get this wave in, given how low Surdy is, as Iconic fishing for the Krugs. Not able to pick it up because Tomio showed topside. EG's bot lane properly respecting the fact their jungler is on the map. Will back off and prevent the counterplay from Iconic, and should be a trade of crabs for each jungler.
Each of them going to be able to get that, and you can even see with how Tomio cleared, he cleared completely the bottom side of the map. So there wasn't really much for Iconic to gain when he had visited that bot lane. The ward placed down already by Cowrie in the tri-bush. Botted out the movement so they could easily get back to safety. And then we look at the trade of the Scuttle Crabs with how much more is left open for Tomio.
It does mean that Iconic's a little bit ahead in terms of clear and jungle pathing, and that is something that we somewhat expect out of the Jarvan. Actually does have a surprisingly quick clear early. But we'll see if Iconic can make something happen with that. Because now, as he's on his second clear back to the bot lane, if Stixxay and Chime are able to sneak in a base, and then Iconic is able to come into this lane and try and break it open, I think that's still the game plan for Golden Guardians. But throughout Game 1 and now Game 2, props to Cowrie and SkyTech, they've been able to play around that and make sure that they aren't making themselves vulnerable on this side of the map.
There was an attempted play by Chime in the bot lane. Was fishing for a hook. SkyTech was able to dance his way out of there. A lot of vision's been actually secured by Golden Guardians on this bottom half of the map. Look at how red that river is, and even into the jungle of Tomio, to give that additional pressure over to Iconic.
Yeah, Iconic just working through that second clear, trying to make sure that he's staying ahead of Tomio. And I think EG playing around this properly. You can see Saligo dropping that ward on this side, so it does open up Iconic from sneaking in with an EQ into the brush. But it just shows an understanding that EG knows that Iconic should be on this side of the map now. But they might be in trouble. We saw this yesterday. Golden Guardians are way stronger at this point. EG, that's all they need.
Way too
this
far
is bad.
Forward.
Iconic's
this is really
coming.
bad. They got Tomio nearby, but he's way too far still. Still clearing out the Krugs. SkyTech's been spotted. He's pulled back in. Battle Dance has been canceled by the Flay. The flash comes in. They've got the damage on it. SkyTech is burning. One more auto. The Battle Dance is enough. Barely he survives. No. How the hell does he manage it?
Oh, that was so close. SkyTech just barely able to get out. A safeguard from Tomio saves him. As, Cowrie and SkyTech just got away with highway murder. Golden Guardians somehow not able to punish in the 2v2, and I kind of can't even stick around to take this dragon, so a big break for EG.
Wow, that was probably the most clutch passive shield I've ever seen for Rakan. Barely was it able to come off of cooldown to give him the shield necessary to survive. That auto attack was midair. He was dead by all rights.
And that's a tough break for Golden Guardians because it breaks, getting that kill into a clean bot reset and then taking the dragon after. So I know that EG getting out, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but I think it does slow down the game plan for Golden Guardians that we saw them execute so well in Game 1 after they took that early dragon, snowballed it into that second Herald. Aren't quite able to do that yet. Now EG looking to respond mid.
Ryoma's looking like he's in a bad spot. They got the Rune Prison, and it's only a shockwave onto the support. That's first blood for Tomio.
And once again, great patience being shown by EG's young members as they wait for that empowered Rune Prison to come down before they go for the rest. But now Cowrie, he's going to have to flash out.
Flashed away from the Flay. Death Sentence didn't connect. And again, bot lane plays are attempted by Stixxay and Chime, but they're not able to net anything. Well, Tomio fights with Iconic over his red buff.
And there's no mid laner on the map for Golden Guardians, so Tomio knows he can go for this. Will be able to smite away the red. Small win for the young jungler of EG. Love to see him playing with priority. Even going to stick around for the Raptors, too. So him and Saligo doing a nice job of working together. I know that's something Saligo said in this early season. You know, it's the first time that he's really been a veteran trying to mentor some of the rookies. And Saligo, always a player that looks inward, always looking for ways that he can improve himself. He said, that's something I'm still really trying to push, trying to be that veteran leader for these guys. And moments like this where, you know, we see Tomio go mid, pull off a nice play with the rest of his squad, him and SkyTech, and then snowball that into more. Those are moments where, you know, Saligo, as that veteran player, you know, kind of playing through the mid lane. That's what I like to see out of this squad, as they continue to try and come together and be that more consistent team that we know they can be in Academy.
That's right now, Surdy. It's a lot of damage on to Tony Top, and Tony Top was able to do the same to him. Ghost and Flash available for each side.
Tony's got Flash.
Tony might be able to flash in with a belly slam, and then with an explosive cask auto attack, it's a kill for Tony Top solo.
Surdy knows that Surdy should have popped that Ghost sooner if he was going to cruise on out of there. I know it feels bad just having a Summoner Spell Blood like that, but trying to get the wave in, just wasn't able to pull it off. And it is after the Rift Herald timer, as Rift is on the map. Fortunately for EG, Iconic's on the bot side, giving this blue buff over to Ryoma. But we see that double control ward set up again for GG in this bot river, making it really difficult for Saligo to hover on this side. And you can see Tomio even waiting to walk into this river before he scouts out the dragon and at least has Ryoma showing mid.
Needs to make sure that there's no potential bait where he can get caught out, especially by Shockwave Cataclysm on the side of Golden Guardians. At the moment, though, Saligo is getting a good shove into Ryoma. Very much Turn of Fates from the last game. With Realm Warp available, still that ability to be able to roam around the map just a little different.
This could be interesting.
Iconic. He's been able to sneak his way here.
So Saligo is actually seeding this wave. Here comes the play.
SkyTech was able to battle dance, but that's going to be a second battle dance away. He still dies because they already had the auto attack midair. With the Rune Prison onto one, Sonic Wave didn't connect, so it's just going to be the simple kill for 6A at the moment.
Really well done by Golden Guardians, as they are able to get the play and get away, burning Saligo's ultimate, as well as Ryoma's going to get a plate for himself in the mid lane. So Golden Guardians not only win the play bot, but also able to get a small lead mid. And GG, good play to get themselves back in this game and give themselves a little bit of an early lead.
And look, SkyTech, you got away with it once. You can't get away with it twice. It's not going to happen a second time, especially with the Noon Quiver already built by 6A. The damage is now actually there to be able to get right through that shield that you have as your passive. And even here, just kind of stepping up forward after knowing the dragon's been taken. I'm a little surprised he didn't get punished for it.
Now, he knows that Golden Guardians need to reset for tempo, and EG's seen this play happen bot. They're now sending Saligo top, trying to make a play on Tony.
Yeah, but look at how tanky Tony's starting to get. He's going to get the belly flop with a close cast with the Rune Prison on top of him. Surtur's taking a little bit too low, and he's going to die. It's going to be a 1v3. Tony top the kick away. He will finally die, but he took one to the grave with him.
Bit of a mistake there from EG. Saligo Surdy just not quite communicating who is going to take aggro first. Still end up walking away with something, but that trade of kills going over to Tony top and only the single plate going over to Saligo while Ryoma farms up mid. Yeah, it's going to be Herald going over to EG, but I like the map state that Golden Guardians have for themselves at the moment, as they're making sure that both their carries are getting plates.
Tony top especially, what he's able to accomplish in this top lane, which normally wouldn't be considered that great of a matchup for Gragas, is really helping Golden Guardians get that state back on the map, allowing Ryoma to be able to push back in. Looking at the bot lane too, Styx and Chime back in a position where they have power over Cowrie and SkyTech.
Uh-oh. And Surdy, he's approaching this wave, but Golden Guardians, they don't want to let him. This is the third plate going over to Styx's Aphelios. Golden Guardians will call off the dive, but still not a great position for EG to be in, as it's only a 500 gold lead for Golden Guardians, but they have that gold in the right place. It is being funneled into Styx and Ryoma, the two big carries for this team as the game goes on.
A lot of plate gold picked up by them, and even Surdy hanging around in the spot lane. It's a risky play for Surdy, because as Gwen, really the power spike is when you start getting that Rift Maker completed, where you can actually heal up through most of the damage that would be provided by Golden Guardians. And until then, you just feel a little weak when trying to use that Ghost to dive into the backline onto these squishy members.
Now, still plenty of time for Cowrie to catch up, but I think this game is going to be difficult for him because Gragas gets so tanky as a champion, and Tony being ahead already has that turbo chem tank. it might have to be an LDR second for Kaori, which I know Jin really likes getting that rapid fire cannon to make sure you have that extra range. You can proc those deadly flourishes a little bit more. I don't think that's something that Kaori is going to be able to opt for this game, which doesn't feel great on the Jin.
No, I think it's going to really put behind Evil Geniuses at this moment. I'm kind of wondering what the game plan is for them. They've got to really get this top lane kind of back into a position they can feel a little bit more comfortable with, especially when you start making plays like this. Can't get the kill on the Ryoma. It's a nice kick over the wall, but you got to be careful. The Shockwave sombreroed. They got the kill for Soligo. Now they focus on the Iconic with the Cataclysm coming in, but they're going to be able to get the kill for Tomio with a killing spree on him. 6A and Chime are in a bad spot. The flank coming in from Surdy. He's got the damage with the needlework. They're focused on a 6A. He might have flash, but they can easily chase him down. He's on the wrong side of the fight. There's going to be a realm warp opened up. Where is going to be the Lantern to try to save 6A's life? They've got it, but they already got the Sonic Wave to be able to connect. Tomio's in the fight, but he's taken pretty low. He's barely going to be able to survive from the fight, but look at SkyTech and how he's playing forward. 6A Chime, there's going to be a Moonlight Vigil coming out, but they are able to thwart the fight.
It's so tough to dive onto red-white, and but even though EG, they don't get the kill onto 6A, it's still a really good play for them because Tomio taking the 2 tower shots makes it happen, and that kick flash, unironically, helped him dodge out on the damage from Iconic and wins EG that 1v1 as Kaori.
Speaking of 1v1s, Kaori gets 2 levels down. Thankfully for him, Ryoma had sombreroed the Shockwave in the previous fight.
And I know we have a second look with that mid lane play. Look at the kick flash from Tomio. He dodges out on the EQ from Iconic.
That's so nice.
That's real, kind of unlucky for GG. Ryoma tried to go for the ult flash to catch Tomio. Doesn't connect, so EG win out on the skirmish huge. And now as we get back to live, EG using some of that tempo to get a play mid. Is going to be the ult from Tony, not quite able to get Soligo into the turret, but Shelly will crash into the turret. Plates go over to Soligo and Tomio.
Getting plates for Soligo, too, for this prize is going to feel nice. They really needed to make sure they could get more gold funneled into the pocket. Soligo. He's the only one who... he's hitting 1-0-2, which isn't bad, but you need to get more gold, especially when we look at how Ryoma had gotten so many plates previously in mid lane. He got a couple in bot lane, too. He's in a pretty nice spot despite being down 0-2.
And it feels like this game for EG, again, it falls on Tomio, who is really having a good week. I know that Tomio hasn't had some of the best weeks to start off Academy, but these 4 games he's playing so far this week have been really good to see. And 3-0-1 on the Lee Sin, he's the big playmaker. He's that main engage tool. Let's see if Tomio can find the angle around the second dragon as Golden Guardians have a really nice setup early.
Both teams posturing around this. Only 15 minutes into the game, but we're about to see a 5v5 fight attempted over this Hextech Dragon. Nobody really wanting to relent pressure, especially when the Scuttle Crab has been already secured by Evil Genius.
Surdy has an angle.
On the flank, if they need to be able to bring him in. He's got a Riftmaker as well. They've got a little bit of damage on a Tony Top, but look at how tanky he is. He's able to absorb a lot of the pressure that came in from Evil Geniuses. Even with the curtain call, it's not enough. There's Surdy. He went in. He was spotted out. They've got a lot of damage, but they have to still kill him. With SkyTech first falling, they look for more. They try to see who they can get. It's a flash away. The pull comes in on Tomio, but it's going to be a kick on Ryoma. Shockwave's only on a 1. Doesn't really help outside of Golden Guardians. Now they're running back to the door, but Iconic went back in. They've got Tomio. No! Tomio survives barely. It's a double kill for Kaori. Continuing to chase Evil Geniuses now. They've got him on the run. Golden Guardians have nowhere to go. This turret is not your salvation, even if you're able to get the kill onto Soligo. You got to be careful. The turret's helping out, but they've got 1. What a chaotic fight. It's a 3 for 5.
The turret's the MVP for Golden Guardians as EG wanted 6A so bad. Ends up taking pretty much everyone with him, and Magical, the dragon doesn't even fall. It's still on the table. We get to have this run back again, as I think the difference for EG is Tomio got out of the re-engage from Iconic, and the way that EG are playing with these rune prisons from Soligo, the patience they have for this cooldown to get back up and for them to utilize that empowered root to just get another member for themselves. As we take a second look, Surdy's doing all he can to buy time in the backline. SkyTech goes down early, but Tomio, first off, isolates Ryoma. That's 1 empowered rune prison. Now Tomio waits. Iconic re-engages. Tomio magically gets out of this one, but look at how Soligo and Surdy play this. waiting for the Empowered Rune Prison. Once that lands, that's when Surdy picks that timer to go in, pick up that next kill, and then things get a little bit sloppy, but still the idea for EG, playing around that Rune Prison, that's really good teamwork coming out of these guys. I know that Sligo said that he wanted to step up and be more of a leader as the veteran on this roster, and we can see that firsthand at how EG are playing some of these fights around the Rise.
And there is no fight over the Dragon after all. It is soloed out by Tomio, gets it himself. And here, Skytech was able to barely get away with the grand entrance. But all in all, that whole fight essentially was null and void. Because in the end, it was just Tomio alone getting it.
Well, let's look at where some of the gold went. It's going on to Stixxay, importantly enough, for Golden Guardians, as he is ahead of the curve, working towards that collector this game. And I am also curious to see what kind of build Sligo ends up going for, because I think that EG could be a bit of a low-damage team if he goes Tank Rise, but Tomio.
What a kick to split up Tomio and Surdy. The TP comes in from Ryoma trying to chase down Surdy. That's a lot of damage now that Surdy has. That Riftmaker does a lot to be able to actually cut through the tanky stance that Tony Top might have. And all the while, they saw that Ryoma was there on the other side of the map. They're going to be able to join in this fight. They've got a little bit of damage coming in, but Surdy's got to be careful. He TP'd in, and there it is. He slices down Chime. Stixxay and Iconic don't really want to fight anymore.
That's EG playing with TPs. They know they got the chunk on the Tony Top, so he can't match. He doesn't have Flash or Ultimate. Wouldn't be useful at that fight. And that's EG effectively cross-mapping, because now Sligo, he's got to get out.
Sligo's fairly tanky. He's able to fight back a bit well. Dodges away from the shockwave, but it still dies all the same.
Bit of an overstay. Team resets. Sligo did not. Ryoma takes him down, and still a bit of an active game at Magical, as his teams are throwing down game two.
A bit of chaotic game.
You're in your comfort zone, you know?
I am. 18 minutes into the game. 18 kills. Definitely enjoying myself.
So, want to revisit something we brought up earlier, the Tank Rise that will be the build for Sligo this game. I think that with Tank Rise and Jhin, this is a bit of a low damage carry combo. And so a lot of the damage is actually going to fall on the Tomio and Surdy. And so I really want to see if Surdy can continue to get himself back in this game. Of course, he was set behind early. It's a good play from Tony Top, but has the opportunity to be a menace this game as the Gwen. Of course, Gwen going immune. Something that a lot of teams have struggled with, and we'll see if Surdy can cash in on that.
Well, Stixxay didn't seem too bothered, right? He's like, all right, if I can't hit you, I'll hit the turret. Take that pretty easily, back out of there. Even if it's the trade of a Rift Herald for it, the gold still picked up solo by the 80 carry of Golden Guardian.
And that is the member that Golden Guardians needs to funnel. They are down 1k, but I think all the gold being on Stixxay for them, it still makes things okay. And we can count on Stixxay in the 5v5. This game, at the moment, is honestly set to start to go a little bit longer. And we're going to start to have some questions answered about some scaling aspects as well, if this game does end up going long, because we would expect the Felios to be that big late-game carry, but EG do have ways to play around it and try and get the one-shot, which I think is going to be really important for them throughout this game, because if they can take down Ryoma or Stixxay first, that's where all the damage for Golden Guardians is coming from. So let's keep our eye on Skytech and Tomio, a couple of these rookies, to see if they can be the ones that step up and get EG this 2-0, because they're going to be the ones that have to pull off these engages cleanly on the carries of Golden Guardians for EG to get those one-shots and not get beat out in these elongated team fights.
You saw right there, Skytech took a beating. The moment he stepped forward, Stixxay, free-shot right onto Rakan's face, saying, you're not a very tanky champion here. That's going to be the difficult thing, finding these angles for Skytech, because of how susceptible he is to getting burst down by Stixxay.
That was an optimistic grand entrance from Skytech, and Stixxay responded in kind. But at least EG, they had to reset after anyway, so Skytech still able to get back to base. A couple items coming in. That LDR, importantly enough, for Cowrie, now finished in his back pockets. That will help a lot dealing with this Gragas and J4. Also, we have one more base for Tomio before he picks up that Death Stance, but doesn't seem like it's going to be in time. Only members on GG that are at 2 items going to be Tony and Stixxay, the 2 members that are ahead in this game. And I want to see if EG can continue to find angles and continue to play around these Empowered Rune Prisons. And then if Golden Guardians can try and find this big wombo, because it feels like they haven't been able to connect yet, and EG are still the ones dictating the pace of the game, because they're the ones starting these fights and engages.
A look at Surdy right now. Alone time at the top lane, even having a Rift Herald behind to maybe help out. Got that turret down to 50%. with the charge of Shelly, could be able to take it fully.
I think importantly enough, Tony doesn't have TP, so the fact he's showing here 15 seconds before will get lucky and stop the Rift Crash. Surdy now is going to reset. He has empowered TP. Tomio's looking for an angle. They don't have any flanking wards, so I don't know if EG can hit this timer, as it will just be Surdy TPing to join the squad. With
Tony Top showing top lane, I knew that they'll have at least a momentarily advantageous position around this dragon. 5v4. Even having Soligo on the angle. Ryoma, the target, the flash over the wall, but no kick comes in from Tomio. They've got him kited for so long. The shockwave is able to kill him before the kick can come in. And Skytech now is susceptible. Look at Tony Top into the back line. He goes, getting a little bit of damage, but Surdy is immune. Surdy is immune. Surdy is immune. Can't really do anything to Gwen when she is immune, but now she's gone. Now with the damage coming in from the Needle, they get the pull back in onto Soligo. They got the kill on a Surdy. Next target's going to be Skytech or Cowrie. With Soligo taking the blast cone, he is fine. It's Cowrie continues to kite back. The belly flop gets the damage, and there it is. It's shut down for 6A. And with Soligo finally got it, a triple kill for 6A.
Golden Guardians played that fight so well as Chime gets Ryoma out of the initial engage, and they just turn it on EG in the choke, utilizing those 5v5 tools so easily as they pick up that dragon. And Tomio's still on the map. I don't think they're going to look for Baron, but that was a really well-played team fight from GG, and it was off the back of Chime saving Ryoma.
The fact that Tomio was never able to get the kick on to Ryoma is huge. You look at this, and it was a perfect angle for Tomio, but the flash took him too far.
So Ryoma dipped into vision, so he couldn't pull off the kick flash. So him going invis means that he doesn't get kicked back into the team. Now it's a 4v5. Surdy's buying time in the choke, but look at how tanky Tony Top is. And against this tank Ryze, against this Jhin, you just can't get through the Gragas. And Golden Guardians pick their moment to turn, do it so well. Stixxay walks away with a triple. He's now sitting at 7-1-2 on the map, and the way the GG played this out as a team was very nice.
It was. They were able to kite that back so well. They bought enough time for Tony Top to then join in the fight and be that beefy frontline, getting these kills funneled in for Stixxay. Like you said, 7-1-2. 3 items completed in the inventory of Stixxay.
And this has been a fun best of 2, man, Magical. I know that as we're in our second round robin, we've been looking for these teams to level up. Golden Guardians has been doing so, but EG, definitely a team that still kind of lacking some of those consistent moments.
Stixxay! What the hell was that? He just solos out Cowrie, even if he dies to Surdy. That was an immense play to start off this fight immediately.
They got him, though.
Now they've got a fight.
Do they push?
Soligo is coming into the fight, looking to see if he can have an angle, but with Tony Top looking for the engage, not actually connecting yet. Surdy was able to get out, explosive cast into the wall. 4v4 still, but neither team fully wants to engage, especially with both AD carries down.
All right, I got no time to talk about these teams doubling up. They still want to fight. I can understand that, as Mad Magical's thirst for blood is being satiated by the side of EG. And Cowrie stepping up, he just ended up getting collected. I did like the idea. Stixxay is sumless, but EG just weren't able to turn fast enough with their AD carry. And Stixxay ends up at least trading out and ensuring that EG doesn't walk away with a positive play.
Plus, getting shut down is pretty big for the side of Evil Genius.
Yeah, it still is good, but it's not great.
Hey, I'm talking for Evil Geniuses, you'll take what you can get. Even if the gold is relatively even, the fact that you're able to get some gold back and deny some of that from Stixxay, even if Cowrie got soloed out by Stixxay, that gold was gifted over to Surdy. Surdy got the shutdown there. Now it's completed that Nashor's Tooth, looking for the Cosmic Drive. Next, the split push the side lanes that Surdy's pressure will now give. Evil Geniuses has to be matched by Tony Top, the front line Golden Guardians.
And one of the things that makes Gwen so strong is that it's not just the split push. It's the team fight, too. The fact that you can go immune, you do so much magic damage over time, it really opens up angles for the Gwen, as Golden Guardians, they did start the Baron, but they will know that they're found out as it is a sweeper, and they also see that ward die. But they're sticking to it. Surdy doesn't have TP yet. It's at 3K. Here it comes.
Down low. It's going to reset.
They just want to bait him.
Now Golden Guardians have to be careful. Here's the curtain call opened up wide. Tony Top doing his best to be the meat shield, the bodyguard for the team. They weren't able to connect the Q on the other side from Tomio. Golden Guardians completely peel off of the Baron, at least forced out the TP of Surdy.
I think both teams will take that, as EG, they get to reset first for the Dragon, and Golden Guardians know that for this next Dragon setup, Surdy can't overextend to the side lane, TP late, as, but no resets.
Oh, okay.
Golden Guardians still maybe looking for a fight. This is the timer that both teams should look to reset, as you do have that Dragon coming out on the Rift in a minute 10, and I think both teams still want to try and find the 5v5 around this. Big key we're looking for, can EG break this front-to-back team comp from Golden Guardians? It's really tough when you go into a Gragas, and a lot of that has to be on Tomio and Skytech, so still looking to find that explosive engage on one of these big backlining carries. See if EG can execute it a little bit better this time, or if Golden Guardians can find that front-to-back. They played so well that last Dragon fight.
I was going to say, but also last game, Tomio's engages on this Lee Sin were what got the win for Evil Geniuses. And here, he's put that same pressure back, but he's got that capability. We know what he is capable of with these kicks. We just need to see this now.
Golden Guardians do have mid-priority. And actually, Tony, it looks like the top lane is just going to be a handshake, but 20 seconds out, EG, you can see how difficult it is for them to walk forward into how strong Golden Guardians comp is. I know they're down 2k gold, but this Gragas is just a meat shield. It doesn't matter how much gold he has. He's always going to do the same thing in fights. You can see the difficulty that EG is having into this tank Gragas with their lower damage comp with the Jhin and the Rise, as this is creative.
No, but he got spotted out because he placed the ward down. The control ward that had been placed earlier by Golden Guardians knew he was looking for the angle, so they could chase him down. They've got the root if they need to from the Gravitum. Skytech's getting a little bit of distance, and he's getting a lot of attention from Golden Guardians, which his team is using to try to see if they can take the Baron, the Dragon. But it's given enough time for Golden Guardians now to circle back. Look for the steal. It's going to be secured by Tomio, but look at Skytech. He's still in the backline. Skytech was able to at least get 6A's attention for so long, so Surta can now jump into the backline. It's a 1-for-1, 2-for-1 trade at the moment, with Iconic taking a lot of damage coming in from Cowrie, but Cowrie's trying to keep his distance from everybody. Here's the curtain call. Not going to be able to connect. There it is. 6A takes one, but it's going to be trying body blocking the second one with a shutdown gifted over to Tony top. That is 4 still alive on the side of Golden Guardian.
Another good fight from GG. The fact that they were able to mark where the flanks have wards, spot out Skytech early, ensures that they're able to navigate that fight with enough information to make sure it's still a front to back. Ryomi gets caught out, but it's not enough. And because they took the smite off the Rift, that's going to be Baron.
Easy Baron secured for the side of Golden Guardians. They're in a great spot to try to see if they can bully down and bulldoze their way into the base of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, looking forward to a second look at that fight, as I was focused on Ryoma getting picked off and didn't see what ended up happening to Skytech. I know that this front to back from GG, as we are getting a second look. Shout out to our production staff for helping us out today on the Face stream. Yeah, so Stixay was just waiting for Skytech to go for the flank. He one-shots him, and then is able to manage Surti in the choke as Cowrie, Soligo, just not enough damage to get on Iconic. Really like the EQ back from Iconic just to make sure that Surti goes down after the stopwatch. And well-played fight from Golden Guardians. Stixay has never been threatened in these fights. And I think flipping these objectives, forcing Tomio to show and secure the Ocean, it takes away both flank angles for EG. So the way the Golden Guardians are playing this out by just brute forcing these objectives, it's forcing EG to make snap decisions, forcing some of their members to show towards the objective instead of behind Golden Guardians, which is what EG wants to do. And that's helping GG manage these team fights and navigate this really nicely as,
Oh, the Lantern! Woo! He can't click it in the shutdown. What a look coming in from Soligo and the rest of Evil Geniuses.
And that's just Golden Guardians trying to do two things at once with the Baron. They were trying to get control over the bot side jungle of EG while Stixay was getting mid-prio. EG pulled the trigger. They punished beautifully. And this is going to stall out the Baron, exactly what EG needs. And, oh, man, Magical. It really feels like this game's going to go late. EG's had some banger games. This feels like another one.
It does. Last game was a banger. This one is a banger as well. And that's pretty much been from the 15-minute mark onward. We have seen these two clashing heads consistently, with neither gaining a firm control over the other. And with the Baron still on 4 members of Golden Guardians, they still have a lot of pressure they can provide. But the fact that Stixay had lost his, kind of what's going to slow down this game, as you had called out, Cubby.
And this buys time for EG to push both sides in, get some more items completed, as we now have Surti not quite going for that Cosmic Drive, and making sure that he can go golden in these fights. Cosmic Drive should be on the table. So he has the Sanyas. We have a Frozen Heart and a Stone Plate completed for Soligo. So this tank Rise, he's going to feel really confident to walk up and connect those Rune Prisons with these big carries of Golden Guardians. As GG trying to take control over this bot side jungle, but you see EG showing 4 and showing a bit more fight here.
Only a little bit of time left for that Baron on the members of Golden Guardians.
Oh, not quite. I saw
not quite.
Stixay.
So close. Yeah, Stixay
it's off the creeps in the mid lane.
Exactly. And now, even with the hook coming in from Chime on to Skytech, they can't follow that up at the moment. They're still a little timid. They have to have Stixay, their kind of low-range AD carry when he doesn't have the proper guns, step up to try to take down and bulldoze these turrets.
Now, some of the good news for Golden Guardians, Ryoma's level 17. That's really high at this point of the game, and he is one of the big carries of Surdy. He doesn't have a dash.
Surdy doesn't have the dash, nor does he have the immune. He's dead from a Stixay. With the fight, that was perfect time from Golden Guardian.
A little bit greedy for Surdy to try and contest that. Tomio's going to show on this. I wonder how hard Golden Guardians push for this bot inhibitor turret, as they have a 5v4, and Tomio just showed on that wave.
I think they push.
They should be in hit. Yeah.
They full send this. There's no way you back out of this one, especially with the advantage. Could be.
They're sticking around.
Baron, but they got a lot of minions here in the bot lane.
25
seconds. They even have the turret. They got the right guns coming in from Stixay. Look at Tomio, waiting for the flank. One next to turret's gone. Tomio, when do you pull the trigger? It's 20 seconds until Surdy spawns back up. And even though the minions have been cleared by the side of Evil Geniuses, could have gotten a little bit dicey.
They're going to wait. Look at Tomio. He's trying to wrap around Golden Guardians, and he has trinkets. He is spotted, but Surdy has TP. They might be going for the Hail Mary. Tomio realizing that he's spotted, now trying to escape. Chime has Mobies, though. They can chase him.
Yeah, they can. Board hop away. Tomio not going to connect the Q, but where is going to be the engage? No death sentence means no Tomio.
And this is 3 seconds till Dragon. EG did TP Surdy to join. I don't know if they're going to try and contest. It is a little bit late on the setup. They have supers running into their base. This Dragon might be going down.
Look at Saligo.
Look at Tomio.
Got an angle.
Look at Tomio. Look at Tomio.
Waiting for Stixay. Tomio, he's got a kick angle, but there's no Stixay. They don't have the angle onto the carry.
Oh, no.
And Tomio getting kited back. The kick is going to bring him back in right on top of Saligo. And that's Saligo 1v4. Where's the rest of the team to be able to back that up? They were on the wrong side of the fight. Surdy and Skytech were trying to wrap around at the same time, but Tomio got spotted out before they could enjoy. Now they have to be careful because look at the back coming in from Ryoma. He's going to be able to TP back into the fight with the engage into the back line. They've got Stixay, but he's going to be exhausted with the damage, the heal. That Bloodthirst is keeping him going in the fight and keeping him alive as Golden Guardians continue to kite out. Finally, the fourth crit takes one for
Ryoma
one.
TP for the base.
There they are. They're just trying to end the game, but it's going to be the TP coming in from Saligo. They're trying to cancel the backs the best they can. They're going to be able to get a lot of damage on Iconic and Stixay, but they finally get the kill on a Skytech with Saligo finally taking out Ryoma. Just going to end the damn game here as Cowrie can't get anywhere near the rest of the team. Golden Guardians, they battle this one back out, and they even end the game with a shutdown for Stixay.
Tomio's up. Can he stop Ryoma? There's no ult.
Let's see right now.
You can buy
Ryoma,
time.
He's got 3 levels over Tomio. The kick not going to connect. There it is. Kicking him away, but the minions now pouring into the base. That is 15 seconds until Skytech spawns, and with the rest of Golden Guardians here, they will end this game. They might even pad the KDAs on the way out as Tomio gets run down by Iconic. The shield's not going to be enough to save your life. It's an ace. Golden Guardians, they end this game with style, and it's a 1-1.
The EG curse lives true, but man, that was a good best-of-2 series between both of these teams. As credit to Golden Guardians, they really pulled themselves back into this game. It was a back and forth early, but the way they were able to play those team fights, the Gragas with the Aphelios, it was too much for EG to handle. Not enough damage in the mid game, and as things got late, Golden Guardians scaled. EG weren't able to find the angles, weren't able to find the engages off of Tomio and Skytech, and GG end up evening it out and reign supreme.
What a game, though. What a series.
That was fun.
In fact, both games were so close. Applause all around.
I like when teams throw down. I like when different strategies clash, and especially in that game 1, it looked like both teams had a good idea of what they wanted to do. Game 2 as well, but Tomio and Skytech just weren't quite able to sync up. We saw 2 engages happening on Aphelios at different times, right? In that last team fight, the kick for Aphelios over the wall. Skytech wasn't there to follow up. Tomio goes down. Skytech has a beautiful re-engage onto the Aphelios, but EG weren't quite able to take him down. The Bloodthirst and the heal helped him live. And because of that, Golden Guardians, they take the fight, they take the base, they take the game, managed to even up this series.
I enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun
with
that series. Also, just it wasn't like some series where you have mistakes on each side. Both teams had these angles, even right there at the end, where you saw Tomio looking for that angle. The only problem was he got spotted out. It was a good read from the side of Golden Guardians. That was how you punish and make sure that you could deny that kick. Even when Tomio kicked in Stixay, yet died too soon to follow that up and give other damage for the necessary members of Evil Geniuses.
And like those are things, even as a coach, that like you're happy with seeing, right? You can live with a team having the right idea and just being spotted out by a ward or not quite having the right setup. A lot of this is having those right ideas and seeing those good moments out of players. I think that we saw a lot of that from both teams in this 1-1. And as we get later into the season, we do expect our academy teams to continue to improve, continue to get better. I think that even though the results may not show it, especially for the side of EG, who went 2-2 this week, a lot of better looks from them. And Tomio, his best week so far in academy, good sign moving forward.
Really good sign, and we'll have to see if they can continue that stride forward. But we're going to toss a break. When we come back, our lovely host of Mazel will be here for an interview. Make sure you stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with an interview with Stixxay from Golden Guardians Academy. Stixxay, my man. I gotta ask, first questions first. What is it like coming in as a positional coach, but now having been on the active roster for over half the split?
Yeah, it's a little weird. I definitely wasn't expecting like this is how my split or my season would go. I was kind of expecting to not play on a team. But yeah, I was given the opportunity to play essentially, interim just because we don't have the visa stuff sorted out for Violet yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, I'll try it out and see how it goes. I played with these guys last year, so I'm pretty familiar with everyone. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I definitely missed competing. I had a really long off season, or I was just like kind of vibing for 4 or 5 months. So it's been really fun to play in a team environment again.
That makes me happy. I could just see the smile on your face. It's nice. Now,
Yeah.
do you feel like you learned anything from being put into that positional coach that you've really brought into the team here as you've been playing?
I mean, to be honest, not really. Like, I haven't really done much of my coaching duties, I guess.
Yeah.
I've kind of just been the full-time academy player for my, last like 2 months or so here. But yeah, I mean, I do try to bring as much of like, I don't know, just like a level-headed kind of like leader somewhat style to the game, trying to teach, everyone that's new or everyone that's like, I guess, less experienced than me, just about situations and stuff that I've been through before,
Yeah.
and to try to improve the team. So.
That's nice. So you would say like you're kind of taking that leadership role, you're kind of guiding people in game. Would you say you're doing the same as you did before when you were a player? Or do you think there's a different atmosphere to that kind of communication?
Yeah, it's a bit similar as to when I was a player. I would say
Mhm.
it's a bit easier for me now. There's less pressure in academy, and also I think the plays are a lot more. I don't know. It kind of feels like there's like a playbook, and it's really familiar for me for what to do in most of the situations. Where in LCS there are a lot of different plays that happen, so it can be harder to
Mhm.
know how to react. But yeah, as far as academy goes, like it feels very easy for me to lead everyone around and kind of know what the right thing is to do in almost every situation.
Papa Stixxay just guiding the children. I love
Yeah.
it. How has it been working with Chime? I actually got to talk with him a little bit earlier this week as we were doing some content. It's really interesting to hear his take on everything. So how has it been for you getting to work so closely with Chime?
I mean, yeah, I played with him for I think it was only one split before, and
Mhm.
we had a pretty good relationship there. So it's been fun working with him again. He's like a really
Good.
really funny guy. I think we get along well. And yeah, I mean, he's kind of just going off in academy. Like he kind of feels like we're like the Uzi Mana of academy or something like that.
Oh, I
So
like
yeah, so
it.
we've been having a lot of fun, kind of just dominating most of the games. So yeah.
All right, all right. I like, yeah, especially yesterday, not too shabby, giving Ayla a nice warm welcome there. For you,
Yeah.
Stixxay, I saw you're on the Champions Queue ladder. How are you staying with it? How are you honing your craft here in the season?
Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was having a hard time finding motivation to play some solo queue. I just like, I don't know. Every time when I play, it just the games are really low quality. So when Champions Queue came out, I
Yeah.
was really really happy that happened. I mean, first off, it feels great to play with 8 ping, but it's also just really fun to kind of, you kind of like reconnect with old friends that you used to play with, or just old teammates, whatever it is. Just like playing with a lot of other people gives you different perspective, I guess, on the game. So yeah, it's been really fun. I like it a lot.
That's my favorite part is like hearing the comms and getting to hear the communication. See people get to play, like people are freaking, oh my god, I get to play with you. Oh, that's like it's so
Yeah,
fun. It's
yeah,
so genuine. It feels like
yeah,
gamers are gaming and it just feels
yeah.
good. Now I guess the last little part I wanna give you the stage here, Stixxay. Been a player for a little while. You've got a lot of faithful fans. Do you have a statement for them or anything you want to tell the fans that have been following you all along?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thanks to everyone who's followed me for so long. I definitely don't think my playing career is over. Even though I'm a coach for now. Kind of half player, half coach. But yeah, I think my playing career is not over. I think I still got some time left in me. I still got some zoomer mechanics sometimes. So
There you
yeah, thanks to
go.
everyone who follows me.
I love it, man. I love to hear from you. Well, one last. This was just for me. I'm gonna sneak it in at the last second. What's your favorite animal, Stixxay?
My favorite animal. I really like Ligers. I think Ligers are really cool.
Oh my God, we actually got a good answer. Okay, thank you, Stixay. You just won. You just won the whole season. You'll be getting your award by the end of the split. Thank you so much, Stixay. I appreciate you, and it was really nice getting to talk to you. But go enjoy those dubs, man.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and send it away to a little break. When we come back, we'll have our second series of the day. So don't you go